Hi everyone! I'm Miss Briana from the Hopewell Branch Library. Welcome to another edition of the Author Study Program. Today's featured author is Gianna Marino. Gianna Marino is an author and illustrator who has written over a dozen award-winning books. She was born in San Francisco and spent her early years galloping horses through Golden Gate Park. Gianna has had several different kinds of jobs, including apprentice to a muralist, jewelry designer, product designer, and horse carriage driver. She has explored many corners of the world, from Africa, Asia, and Latin America to the South Pacific and Europe. Though she still wanders the world, Gianna now lives in Northern California and works full-time writing and illustrating. Gianna Marino has prepared a lovely video where she reads from her book, Night Animals Need Sleep Too, which we will watch first. After that, we will look at all of her books and take a quick look at her website. Let's get started.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gianna Marino, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of the books I've written and illustrated today. There's a few behind me you can see. Today, we're going to talk about two books. Many of you may know this one, Night Animals. This is the story of this little possum here and his friends, and they are scared of the dark. So these are nocturnal animals, animals that come out at night, that are scared of the dark. And we're not going to read this one just yet, but I want to show you on the inside of this cover, if you have a chance to get this book, there's a poster that has all these cool animals that are in the story, and it talks about the different animals and what they do. So that is one of our books, but the one we're going to talk about and actually read today is Night Animals Need Sleep Too. So this book is the second book of this series here, and it just came out actually last year, but early spring. And we're going to read this one. So this book is also about nocturnal animals. And even though these animals are awake at night, they still need to get their sleep. So we're going to see how that's done. And again, before we get started with this book, on the inside of this flap, I'm going to take it off so you can see it, is a really cool poster. And it has all of the animals that you can see that are in the story. And it kind of talks about where they sleep and their sleeping patterns. So you can have a look at that. Before we go further with this, we are going to read our story. Night Animals Need Sleep Too. Did you know that possums sometimes hang upside down by their tail? Pretty neat fact. So this guy was perhaps sleeping, and maybe this little morning bird woke him up. Who knows? Look at this, his little face there. Does he look a little bit tired? He does look a little tired, doesn't he? Hey, Possum, what's wrong? Says Skunk. And Possum says, it's too bright. I need somewhere dark and quiet to sleep. Skunk says, how about we sleep in that cave? And Possum says, looks dark and quiet. Bzz. Skunk says, what is that buzzing sound? And Possum screams, bees! And who else is in that cave? There is a big bear. And he's saying, ouch, run. Apparently the cave was not a good place to sleep, was it? Bear says, Possum. Skunk says, watch out. And Possum says, what for? Uh-oh. Oh, thunk. Look at poor Possum. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, says Skunk. And Bear says, how about we sleep in that tree? Oh, that might be a nice, quiet, dark place. Ah, says Skunk, nice and peaceful. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Bear says, do you hear something? Crack. Beaver, timber. Uh-oh, says Possum. Look at our little beaver down on the bottom. You know how beavers can chew trees down. They do that to make their dams. And Beaver says, oh no, did I kill Possum? And Skunk says, are you dead again? Possum says, go away. Oh, Possum, says Beaver, I'm so sorry you're dead. And Bear says, he does that sometimes. And what is Skunk doing? Skunk says, this den is nice and dark. Come on down. Wow, look at, they are underground now. Beaver says, something is down here. And there's a poof from Skunk. Uh-oh, we know what that is. He makes a little bit of a stinky smell. And then something in the cave says, what is that smell? What do you think it could be? Skunks don't belong in wolf dens, says the wolf. It looks like there was a wolf in that cave. And then what's this over here? What's this green thing over here? That looks cozy and quiet, says Beaver. Can you move over, says Possum. You're alive, says Beaver. And Bear says, did you hear something? Crackle, 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 crunch, crunch. Oh, something's coming. Zip. Oh, poof. Skunk made his smell again. And the little people up here who came to the tent said, night animals. And Skunk says, run. And Wolf says, run. And they're all running and running and running. And what is Possum doing in there? Is he? I think he's playing dead again. Skunk says, we'll never get any sleep. Now look who's over here. Little Possum's still in the tent, by the way. And up here, little Bat says, sleep. It's almost dark. And Bear says, almost dark? And Bat says, time for night animals to wake up. So they didn't really get any sleep during the day, did they? And there's our poor little possum. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Poor possum. Anyway, you guys, that is Night Animals Need Sleep Too. I hope you enjoyed it. And before I sign off here, I want to just show you one more kind of cool thing. When I make these books, even though they end up like this, they start off like this. So they're these little teeny tiny books. And this is how I figure out what the drawings are going to be and where the words are going to go. So that's kind of fun. And then I do them a little bit bigger to start to see it more. This is for Night Animals Need Sleep Too, but you could see some of the cool sketches, how they start. Anyway, you guys, thanks so much for listening. And I hope you will keep reading and read lots of books. Okay, bye-bye.
Now let's take a look at Gianna Marino's books. In addition to Night Animals and Night Animals Need Sleep Too, she has written and or illustrated 13 more books for children. The first book she created is called Zupa, an Animal Alphabet. Open the pages of this lively book and discover a bowl of animal alphabet soup sure to spark children's imaginations. From the tiny ant on the front end papers to the exuberant zebra in the final spread, children will delight in the mischievous menagerie that bursts onto the table, while at the same time learning their letters and animals. Filled with imaginative details, it is a visual feast from start to finish. One Too Many, a seek and find counting book. In this boisterous barnyard, the fun grows with each turn of the page. One bouncing flea is joined by 2 cows, then 3 horses, and so on, all the way up to 12 swooping bats. Children will delight in following the shimmering path of the flea, counting each bounce along the way to find the new arrival. Older readers can take the challenge further, counting all the animals on the page or hunting for their favorite. And a surprise ending reveals which animal is just one too many. This frisky hodgepodge is sure to have the whole herd roaring with laughter and poring over the pages for hours. Meet Me at the Moon. When Mama Elephant must leave Little One to ask the skies for rain, the young elephant is worried. Who will care for Little One? Who will sing Mama's special songs? When will she return? Mama is very reassuring. Little One will hear her song on the wind and feel her love in the warmth of the sun, and after the rains come, they will meet where the moon sets. Exquisitely illustrated and supremely comforting, Meet Me at the Moon is a mother and child love story to be enjoyed again and again. Two Tall Houses. Owl and Rabbit are good friends and live in two small houses next to each other. They are perfectly happy until Rabbit's garden gets in the way of Owl's view. So Owl builds his house a little taller. Only that blocks the sun from Rabbit's vegetables. So Rabbit builds his house taller. And soon it's a house-building frenzy, and the two now not-so-good friends have the two tallest houses in the world. All it takes is a gust of wind to remind them that maybe living smaller and together is a much better way to remain friends. Following Papa's Song. As two whales swim together through the big ocean, Little Blue has many questions for Papa, especially ones about the long migration. How will they know the way? Will he be able to keep up? What will they see along the way? Papa has answers for all these questions, but Little Blue remains curious as they begin their journey. What could be down below where they can't see? The answer is a magical world, and Little Blue is enchanted. Until there is only darkness surrounding the young whale. But if Little Blue is quiet and listens, can Little Blue hear Papa's song? Filled with the wonders of the ocean and the comfort of a father's presence, Following Papa's Song is a heartwarming story to be read again and again. I Am the Mountain Mouse. Here is a timely tale of a mouse who thinks he's a lot braver and better than anyone around him. Undaunted by extreme heights, wild animals, or angry birds, this mouse is determined to conquer every obstacle in his path. He climbs, dives, and does all that he can to prove how brave he is. I am the Mountain Mouse, he shouts when he summits his first not-quite mountain. And this is usually the warning for his minions to take cover, because what they see and what Mountain Mouse sees are never quite the same. Full of slapstick silliness and adventurous antics, I Am the Mountain Mouse points out how ridiculous a big ego can be, in a quite deliciously over-the-top way. A boy, a ball, and a dog. There was never a ball the boy wouldn't throw. Luckily, there was never a ball that his dog couldn't catch. When a new kind of ball, a balloon, floats into the picture, both boy and dog try to find a way to play with it, and they become separated. Will they find their way back to each other and finish their game? Splotch. Splotch was meant to be in his bowl when his boy got home from school, but he isn't there. There's only one conclusion. He must have run away. But when he mysteriously returns, all is well again. Except Splotch's distinctive spot has moved, and the only explanation is that he's been changed by aliens. When the spot moves yet again, it's clear something fishy is going on. This hilarious story poses the question that when it comes to this family, who is protecting whom? If I Had a Horse. If I Had a Horse is an inspiring picture book with simple text and gorgeous, impressionistic artwork about a girl imagining what life would be like with a horse. Just Like My Brother. Set in a stunning African landscape, the story begins with a game of hide-and-seek as Little Giraffe looks for her big brother, who's just out of her sight but always safely nearby. As she asks the many animals she encounters on her search if they've seen him, it's evident how much she admires him. He's taller and faster and braver than her, she tells them. But as the search continues, the other animals insist that Little Giraffe is tall and fast and brave, too. And best of all, she has a wonderful older brother who looks out for her. Don't Let Them Disappear. 12 Endangered Species Across the Globe. Written by Chelsea Clinton and illustrated by Gianna Marino. In this book, Chelsea Clinton introduces young readers to a selection of endangered animals, sharing what makes them special and also what threatens them. Taking readers through the course of a day, Don't Let Them Disappear talks about rhinos, tigers, whales, pandas, and more, and provides helpful tips on what we all can do to help prevent these animals from disappearing from our world entirely. With warm and engaging art by Gianna Marino, this book is the perfect read for animal lovers and anyone who cares about our planet. We Will Live in This Forest Again. Lush watercolor illustrations explore the bittersweet cycle of burning and rebirth in the forest, following a lone deer as he sees its only home scorched by flame and later returns to find new plants already sprouting, the promise of a day when the air will be filled with birdsong once again. As a Northern California resident, Gianna Marino witnessed the 2017 Sonoma wildfire firsthand. How Do You Do? Written by Larissa Tooley and illustrated by Gianna Marino. Water buffalo and crane's field is dry, empty, and hot. So hot they can barely think of anything else. Every day is the same, until one day they hear something new. How do you do? When Goat dances into their lives, water buffalo and crane can't help but join in. Suddenly, their field doesn't seem dry, empty, and hot at all. Even after Goat dances away, their world is no longer so small. This beautiful story about widening your horizons and making new friends, brought to life with stunning illustrations by Gianna Marino, shows how all it takes is one special friend to change your world. If you would like to find out more about Gianna Marino, you can visit her website at giannamarino.com. As you scroll through her homepage, you will find information about what inspires her to create stories for children. You can also see many sketches and illustrations she created while making her books. On her About page is more information about her life. Much of the information from my introduction came from here. And you can find a list of her books she has written and or illustrated on her Books page. I'd like to give a big thank you to Gianna Marino for taking the time to create such a fabulous video for us. You can borrow many of her books at the library. Just visit our website at mcl.org to place the titles on hold. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll join us for more videos in the future.